Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot, Finding Your Own Beauty. Now, this podcast and the next is going to, we're inspired by She's Gotta Have It Season 2. You should check it out. I like it. It got a lot of stuff. It's a very good show. It's a very good show from executive producer Spike Lee. And, you know, the overall premise of that show was about this young lady, Nola Darling, who was in relationships. You know, the first season, she was in relationships with 3 different men. And then at the end of the season, she ended up getting into this lesbian relationship, and that's how this season starts out. But I'm not going to give any spoilers. But it's very interesting. It's interesting how I think it's like probably so far I've watched 5 episodes. It'll probably be deeper. I think the story is deeper because it's not, you know, it's going beyond that whole She's Gotta Have It movie, because that was what the TV series was based on, and that movie was back in 1986. And for those who remember, that's really how Spike Lee hit the scene. That's how he hit the scene with that. It was a classic. It was a classic. And you know, since they expanded it, they have other characters, and there's one character who was interesting to me, because in last season, it was a character working at a kind of a club, kind of like a burlesque club, and she actually got butt injections. And I'm thinking, okay, she looks pretty good anyway. And, you know, it inspired me to do this particular podcast. This isn't something per se against butt injections, even though I'm firmly against it. Now, people who follow me a long time know I like a big butt dunk. I know I like a booty. I know it. I mean, I'm just going to tell you. I mean, I don't have a problem. Like if a woman came up to me and say, well, Rob, you're only 5'11", so I like guys 6'4". I'll be like, okay. I don't get mad. Don't take it personally. But that being said, I remember one of the sexiest women I've ever seen in my life was, I would never forget this image. I'm at school. I'm at my youngest son's school to pick him up. This sister come up. Now, she got on a hat and some sweats, and she was slim. But she's probably one of the sexiest women I've seen in my life. In fact, there was another young lady I knew who was very slim, also dripped sexuality, but she put on some shape, because that big roughneck boy, husband of hers and stuff, got her pregnant. And, you know, even though they say boys bring hips, her daughter brought some hips. So, but my point is, even though I have a distinct preference, I can still recognize beauty otherwise. And I would never kick a woman out, or, you know, because ultimately with me, I'll just say ultimately with me, for some of y'all ladies who might not have a butt dunk, but y'all checking out Rom, it ultimately comes down to if I'm feeling you or not. But that's just me. I just want to make that's me. But my whole point with this whole thing is, and inspired by this character on She's Gotta Have It, not the main character, but the secondary character. This one was already attractive without injecting her butt. And you got a lot of women, in the white community, you might get women get breast implants or something. There's some in the black community too. And then you got other sisters, you got black women getting butt implants. I'm like, man, just do some whatchamacallit. But regardless of what you like, it is something. And this is something for the sisters, especially. Though everybody can get something from it. You got to have your own beauty. You got to find your own beauty. And this ain't really, honestly, even though I say it for the sisters for a second, this is everybody. This is really everybody. I knew this Korean young lady. And when I met her, she used to wear these blue contacts. The contacts the color itself looked nice, but I remember I told her, I said, why you, because she showed me a picture of her with her natural eyes. They were a nice shade of brown. And I said, why don't you wear this? Why are you wearing these contacts? And she actually stopped wearing them, at least around me. And I was just like, but she was like very beautiful with her natural hair. Like she had blue contacts with dyed hair, kind of blonde. I was like, nah, sweetie, why don't you, your natural self. See, you understand, ladies, here's the thing. You got to find your own beauty. Don't worry about that next person. Like using the butt example, yeah, if some women have a fat booty, they're going to attract some men. If they got that big round booty, shoot, sure as hell it'll attract me. But I'm not every man. I'm not every man. And even with the booty thing, or if it's the breast thing, there's always a guy, no matter what you got, some guy likes it. Like one thing I liked about, and they kind of showed this on the She's Gotta Have It. The title character doesn't have. She's actually flat chested and really don't have a butt dunk. But I have to admit, they made a good choice because there is something very sexy about her. Not somebody I would like. I don't think I would like run up on the street or cold approach her. But see the type, just how she playing the character, is somebody I would be like, you know, if I was in a position to get to know, I'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, all right. You know, but that's just me. But then there's other guys that look at her, they'll run up on the street. That's perfect. See, understand something, ladies. Every single man, I don't care what Hollywood try to tell you, what these videos, what IG try to tell you. Every single man got a preference. Every single man. And it's usually based on, it's going to be based on the women in his bloodline. One. Just like for women, it's based on the men in her bloodline. It's going to be based on that. It's going to be based on his particular male imprint. Like if you get a lot of guys, sometimes you see some guys out here with some big women and you be like, why are you with her? And he could be some man you consider fine. But if you take a look at the women in his family first, and then take a look at the women who were friendly to him at first, which is usually, or either first friendly to him and then the first woman to have sex with, there's a difference. Like, you know, I always talk about the butt dunk, but the women in my bloodline are thick and shapely, or tall and shapely, something like that, or pretty. So that's just my bloodline. It's a natural thing. And so that's going to be with the man. And, you know, the women in his family might be slim. I've known, if we talk about black women, let me focus on that to give you all the point. You know, is in general, brothers go crazy over fat ass in general. But I've known some brothers, they'll say, nah, I want them slim. Or, you know, when I was doing those loafer videos, which stands for lovers of fat asses, I've had some brothers go in there and say, well, yeah, Rom, you can have that, but give me a woman with some big breasts. And then even some might be like, well, you know, they don't have to have much of an ass or breast, but if they got some legs. Because me, at first, I was a leg man, but then this one woman put it on a brother, so they kind of changed me up too. But if you got, you want to look for, you want to really think in terms of, okay, what do I have natural to me? What do I have natural to me? And then by having that thing natural to you, you actually attract the type of guys that are already naturally compatible with you. See, there's a secret with that. Whatever body type you got, if you pay attention, the type of guys who are going to have the natural attraction for you, they're going to like your body type. But they ain't going to like it if you okay, say they don't like big breasts, in which a lot of guys don't. A lot of guys don't like it. I take it or leave it. I prefer to leave it, to be honest. Just as long as you got enough for me to know that you're a female. I'm good. I'm good with that. In fact, I kind of like that track runner body too sometimes. I like the bottom heavies. So, but you might, say the guy's naturally attracted to you like that. Or if they do like a butt. Or whatever, or they like, you know, you like, as Cousin T-Tall would say, one of those B-cup booties, or what do he say? Smaller booties, more petite booties. But then you pumping something in them. You actually pushing away the guys who are naturally attracted to you. And that's the key. But see, the natural attraction, that's one of the key things. So what women need to do, the most powerful thing a woman could do is actually try to stay as close to her natural shape as possible. You still want to be in a shape. Or even that. Don't think, you got some women, they might be naturally size 10. They're just more endomorphic. They're going to have a little bit more fat on them. So, they might be more brick house shaped naturally. But some guys like it. And it don't necessarily, but let me get it clear. It don't mean that you a big woman. You get some women out here talking about, body positivity. But the key to that is you're still in your optimal shape. You can still be a size 12, but a flat stomach. I've known a couple women who they were, if you take their shirts off, they had cut off tops or something. Their stomachs were totally flat. They were just more endomorphic, so they were bigger, taller. But they drew the men who appreciated that. See, don't look at another woman and say, I gotta be that to get this. Only woman you gotta be is yourself. That's the only way. Because trust me, and this is if you at your optimal shape, regardless what it is, you're gonna draw a certain type of guy. And a lot of times you're gonna find, if you talk to the guys who find whatever you got most attractive, you're gonna click with them. Like, there's a certain type of woman, I can look at a body type, I already know we're going to click. And then there's some other women, I look at their body type and I say, okay, we're going to have issues. There's a certain type, there's really two types I click with. Two types I click with automatically. No, I ain't even going to give it. One of them is women with a butt dunk. Oh, it just do. Like, and natural, because a natural booty, I studied this. A natural booty gonna have some nice thighs to go along with it usually. And I remember my co-parent, when we first met, I think I really gave her attention first time I saw her thighs. And I was like, I went crazy, because I really go crazy over thighs. Too. I don't see it enough, so I don't talk about it. But I really go crazy over some nice thighs. Oh, that's actually not the second thing I was talking about anyway. And she growing up, she used to wonder. It's like, why I got these thighs? Because she was a little kid with big thighs and booty. And she couldn't figure it out. It was like, and then when we got together, she said, oh, that's why. Seriously, that's how deep it is. You're going to find that. Y'all can practice that. But see, unfortunately, a lot of women aren't at their optimal. And then you got too many women changing them stuff up. And it's deep, even to your grade of hair. That's why you get some women, they wearing their hair the most natural and they can't get rid of guys. Or they'll get the guys who are naturally attracted. That natural blueprint, I've been promising a webinar for a while. I need to do a natural blueprint webinar. Anyway, because it speaks a lot to what people want. But in order to have it, you can't be getting that breast thing or injecting your butt or even wearing color contacts. That's how deep it is. You get some women wear color contacts, but a guy probably like their natural hair eye color. So find your own beauty. Remember something. Let me give you an example. I've used this before, but this is the most apropos example. I looked outside, got a squirrel. They be chilling. Anyway, the most apropos example. If you look at a rose and you look at an orchid, they're two different things. Or you can even throw a dandelion. So you got a rose, an orchid, and a dandelion. All three are actually pretty. You ever just sit and look at some of these flowers out here? All of them ain't roses. So the orchid and the dandelion don't need to be a rose to be pretty. You look at it, it's like, oh, okay. It's pretty in itself. All women have a beauty to them. You're supposed to have a beauty. Because your beauty is what attracts the man. But here's the science. If you have your natural beauty, you want to attract the man who's going to feel that. And that's all you need to focus on. If you focus on that, don't worry about some guy, this or that or what everybody else want. When you at your optimal, you in the best shape, you in your natural shape, somebody gonna mess with you. So find your own beauty. Don't find somebody else's. Let them handle whatever they got. Let them deal with it. You find what's best for you. So anyway, that's all I got for you, ladies. I'll talk to you later. Peace and blessings.